Justin Fields has proven to be a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. Now, does that mean he's top 10 or even top 15? No. But he's certainly one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the league today, and in the right situation, he could be even better. I do think, however, he's headed towards being traded. The irony is, if the Bears didn't have the Panthers' first overall pick in the 2024 draft, then Fields would have significantly more control over what happens to him. If he were able to continue winning, he'd likely put the Bears outside the top 10 and make it far less likely that he'd have the opportunity to draft their quarterback of the future in this year's draft. Unfortunately for him, though, the Bears have the first overall pick and can make their selection of whichever quarterback they deem the best. I know a lot of Bears fans and NFL pundits think that there's a chance that they don't go quarterback, but despite the recent praise from players in the locker room, Matt Eberflus is likely going to be fired, and you might see Ryan Poles go shortly thereafter. So if there's a new GM and a new head coach, then the piece to complete the holy trinity of rebuilds is a new quarterback. Having a decent quarterback with a good roster around them just isn't good enough to win Super Bowls. Look at the Eagles. They had a great run last year, but Hurts was eventually beaten by Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Even though everyone knows that Philly has a far superior roster to Kansas City outside of the quarterback and tight end positions. So the Bears will have to confront that reality in April. Do you stick with a decent, maybe even solid quarterback and give him weapons and protection? Or do you go for the home run pick and hope the superstar rookie quarterback can lift the rest of your roster out of mediocrity? You only have so many shots at the first overall pick, and with high picks comes high expectations. I think they'll inevitably draft either Caleb Williams or Drake May and use their second first-round pick to get him the best weapon or offensive tackle they can snag. So then what happens to Fields? The good thing about the order of operations in the NFL is we'll all know the direction they're going before we get to the draft in all likelihood. If Chicago is going to draft a quarterback at 1, then Fields will be traded before draft night so that all teams involved can make plans and address free agency and the draft accordingly. To me, there are 3 main teams that make sense depending on the asking price and what else they could do in the offseason. First, the Las Vegas Raiders. They have a lot to figure out from head coach to Davante Adams' contract and possible pending trade request. But they're a team that needs a quarterback and might believe that Fields will be better than any of the rookies they'd be able to select in the 8 to 10 range of the first round. If Vegas could acquire Fields for a third or later in value, then it makes great sense to me. There should be good offensive linemen or defensive tackles available where they'll be picking, so they can still address some big needs while also potentially landing their franchise guy. If the head coach and more importantly offensive scheme match with Fields' skill set, then this could be a great landing spot because they already have great weapons between Adams, Myers, Mayer, and Jacobs. They just need someone to distribute the ball and make some off-schedule plays, which is what Fields excels in. I like Antonio Pierce, but the interim guy almost never gets the job permanently, so we'll see the direction the franchise goes in. Up next is the team that I think makes the most sense as a landing spot, Atlanta. Fields is from Georgia, so he no doubt would like this at least from a location standpoint. The team, similar to the Raiders, has a ton of offensive firepower. It's just missing the driver. Fields would be an immediate upgrade over Desmond Ridder, who is definitely suffering from the offensive calls from Arthur Smith, but has also just been flat out bad this season. I expect Smith to be fired and a new head coach to come in here as well, but that's just what happens when you don't find a quarterback. As far as the roster goes though, this could be the best supporting cast that Fields would be able to surround himself with. Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London with the ability to add another elite wide receiver in the first, or maybe even a Brock Bowers. I don't know, it would be fun to see for sure. And the final team that I think might give the Bears a call just to see how much it would cost to get Fields in the fold could be the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy has undoubtedly had a great season, and perhaps there's no reason for them to make a switch. But if the Niners come up short of a Super Bowl run this year, then there's going to have to be a conversation about making a change at quarterback. Because the defense is elite, the weapons are top 5 in the league at every position, and the head coach is one of the best young offensive minds in the game. There's only one spot where you don't feel comfortable calling it a strength of the team. So if you told Kyle Shanahan that a 3rd round pick this year and a 5th in 2025 would get him Justin Fields and he would still have Purdy on the roster for his rookie salary as a backup, then I find it hard to believe he and the rest of the staff doesn't strongly consider it. Fields would match the system perfectly with his ability to throw on the run out of the rollout play action, and the 49ers screen game is tops in the NFL. Just hand the ball off to CMC, throw a couple bubble screens to Debo, and then hit Ayuk on a deep crosser off play action every single drive. If all else fails, Fields can run for the first down. It's just an exciting possibility for an extremely athletic upgrade at the quarterback position on one of the most elite teams in the league already, and all it might cost them is a couple day 2 or 3 picks. If you're a Bears fan that wants Fields to stay, I'm kind of with you, but they need to do a lot to help him. And even though I stated that I think his trade value will hover around 2 picks in the 3rd to 5th range, I just don't know that his value will ever go up playing for Eberflus, and he has to be traded while there's still a year left on his rookie salary for that value to be as high as it is as well. This opportunity goes away in a year. Where would you like to see Justin Fields playing next year? Let me know where you want him to play versus where you think he'll play in 2024. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.